Hello, Realtor Refresh. This is Kathy coming to you on day 29 of 30 Days Live of the Masterclass. In this class today, we have a special speaker today who is going to share some best practices. She is actually one who I sold a house to years ago. She ended up getting in real estate, and I'm so glad that she was able to take some time out today to visit with us. She's literally on the road, so we will have her come up very shortly. Her name is Debra McElroy. You may remember her if you were in the challenge before where we did the 3-day Realtor Refresh. She was part of that class in which she taught on stewardship. But today she's out there crushing it in real estate, and I thought it would be very poetic for us to have her on today. If you're joining for the first time, I see we have a new member. Welcome. This is an opportunity for me to share with you. Oh, I see something went snap on the Facebook, but nevertheless, I think we're all still here. I hope we're all still here on Zoom. I just had it crash momentarily, but I believe it will come back. I don't want to quit Zoom. It's asking me if I want to quit Zoom. Don't want to quit. I'm hoping it's still working. It says connection restored. Sometimes that happens with Zoom, where it's there 1 minute and gone the next. So each day I'm sharing something of value to you that you can go out and share with others. As I say almost every day, is that when we refresh others, we are also refreshed. So today I have Miss Debra McElroy, who's going to come to us from the road, literally from the road, to share some best practices. So I am going to, let's see. Okay. Before I introduce her, because I'm not exactly sure, we have her picture on the screen. So you see Debra McElroy. She is a phenomenal broker who is just crushing it out there in the field, taking care of business, as I like to say. And so I want to maximize the time that I have with her and I have with you, and just dive right into some of the best practices that she has in real estate. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to start your video, but I'm going to ask you to start your video and ask you to unmute Debra McElroy. And if you're not able to, I'll fill some time until then. Oh, there you are. Yay. You're still muted.
Oh, hello. Yep,
Oh,
there we go. Hello,
awesome.
hello.
Hello. I'm so glad you took time out to share with us. And I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I see you're in the car. Is that your?
I hope you can. Yeah, I kind of just parked. I kind of stopped because I was in an area where I was not at home yet, but I want to be able to talk to you. So I'm parking on the side of the road in a place that's safe.
Right.
And so it's just a pleasure to be here.
Yes. Well, I want to take just a few minutes for you to share. I introduced you as a phenomenal broker who's out there crushing it in real estate. And I just want you to share maybe some of your best practices that people can glean from, to see that, you know, this business, you do have to work it. It's not a business that just falls out the sky. You have to actually put some effort into it. So what are some practices and principles that you can share that's really working for you?
Yeah. Well, I know we're talking about a lot of things. Thank you for having me on here. One is the number one thing that I've learned that as agents that we sometimes don't think about having is that of finding a coach or a mentor. It is so important to do that, because what that does, first of all, it allows you to focus on your mind. And that has probably been the most powerful shifting that I've seen in my business, is I began to shift my mindset and to the fact that, you know what, when you look at the perspective is there are always going to be someone needing a place to live. And so the key thing as a realtor is how do you harness into those individuals that you personally can reach out to. One way I do it, of course, is I'm a big friends and families. That's the most important thing, because I think if you take care of your clients, they're going to refer business for you. So referral business has been one of my number one source. And then the other thing is focusing on the areas that work for you. I've learned that outsourcing is so important in this business, because sometimes we as agents may focus on trying to do everything instead of focus on the things that you're great at. I am a people person, so one of the things that I've been using is that I like to build a relationship. So as me as an agent, when I get a new client, it's about, hey, you're part of my family. And so with that, being that trusted advisor has been really strong for me in building those relationships with business. The other thing is, you know it, it's about crushing challenges. When we talk about challenges, there are so many challenges, but how are you challenging yourself
Yes.
as an agent? How are you moving from where you're at to the next level? One of the things last year I was challenged. Okay, I was doing 30 and I was like, I'm a believer. So I began to talk to the Lord and say, hey, what is the next level for me? And I heard 60 and I'm like, oh, 60. But
60 transactions? Was that
60 transactions for last year, 60. And lo and behold, we did it. It was done. So partnering, I can say that partnering with the Holy Spirit and doing, listening to what he says. I know you're doing the study on, the Proverbs. It's mastering those, grabbing hold of those wisdom principles and applying them in your everyday life. And so with that, I use that to say, hey, God, what's the needs of my clients? This market is crazy. And I think you need the wisdom alongside your principal practice as, education. How are you as an agent becoming skillful? I just completed the staging class about a couple of days ago. I see that as another opportunity to put something into my skillful hat, because now, learning something else, getting with other agents and networking and doing those things so that you can be empowered to be a great agent. What are the tools, like you and I sharpening irons, sharpening irons, like, hey, what are some of the skills that you're doing? We were talking about, what website are you using? What things are this? And so, one of the good things I have to say, I do have to have a plug for the mindset of the kingdom and, what we get from being a part of the challenges that we get from Pedro is really powerful. And it helps us to increase our mind and increase that, we have the ability to do that. Those are some of my, practical things, but, reaching out to your friends and family, that's one thing. How are you giving something of value? One thing that I do is I do pop-bys. I love doing pop-bys. I'm getting ready for Mother's Day, and I try to think of what I'm going to give them. This year I'm going to get candles for my mother, for the mothers. Easter I just did like candy, and you know what? I'm kind of that person that like to tailor to my client. So if they got kids, I pay attention to that. I like to give gifts for the kids. Mothers, I like to mother them. I feel bad because I don't really do too much for the fathers, but I find that the mothers and the children and just doing different events for that. So that's another thing that I do a practice is, keeping my name in front of them by doing those pop-bys. I do appreciation gatherings. Thanksgiving, I kind of like to do appreciation parties, and pies. You know what? Even during COVID, clients were calling me, hey, am I going to get my pie? So you know what? We did a drive up. Come by and pick it up.
Did you do the pies yourself? Did you make the pies?
you
I was
go
gonna
and
say
buy.
now that's a whole nother level.
No, you go buy. But you know what? Years ago, I literally used to make cookies. I would have my daughter make snickerdoodle cookies
Ooh,
for the clients, and we would send them off to them. But just finding ways to interact, that's one of the things. I like to use it for, if you want the secret to being a great agent, don't be a secret agent. Get
ooh,
out there and let
yeah.
people know that you are successful at what you do. And I think the principles of coaching and mentoring is important. Just before this call, there's a young man that I'm mentoring. He is a kick butt. He's going to do great. But he's calling me, Miss Debra, what's going on in the market? And I'm just saying, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, or what do you see with the clients that you have? What are the stumblings that you may be facing with them? What are they looking for? Hey, have you reached out to all of your friends and family? Because he said, I see like I'm hearing the news and I'm hearing all this. I said, look, the bottom line, once again, the mind is, think of it this way. Everybody need a place to live.
Right,
So
right.
you got to shift. So if it means you got to be someone that's looking for rentals, renters, hey, you do that. If whatever the market calls for, that's what you do. Because I told him, I said, look, renters become buyers. And so we
Yes,
can't just shun them out. So
right.
whatever, the market calls for, you and I know you can be a top agent, but you got to do what you need to do to grow your business. And so those are
Right.
a few of my little tips
Well,
that I have.
that's wonderful. I'm just so glad to see you succeeding in this business and using the principles that you've learned through 100X, through the
So
challenge framework of Pedro. And also, we've leveled up some. I like what you said about investing in yourself and leveling up.
yeah,
Could you speak just a little bit more about investing in yourself? What are some things that people need to
yeah,
hear the importance of
yeah.
investing in yourself?
Yeah, you know what? I have to be honest with you. That was something I never thought about doing, is investing in myself. What I mean by that is, hey, if I have to pay for a coach, sometimes it's a high paying coach. It's important to do that. One of my coaches told me this, and it stuck with me. Sometimes it's about just being in the room, and you're meeting individuals that can impart wisdom
Influence.
to
Yeah.
you, and it's so important. And that's one of the things that I even find with 100, X, is that, hey, you're getting the mind shift. You're understanding that, hey, selling is serving. One of my coaches said, sales without faith is dead. And I was like, oh,
Mm,
that's powerful. But
that
it's
is
true.
powerful.
As when you're talking about being in sales, you've got to have faith. You got to have faith. And so sometimes to get to this next level, you need to find somebody that's at this level so that you can get there, but then also you can go back and bring others up. So it's always that of going from increase to increase. And I think that's the most important thing about coaching. I can remember when I moved to Virginia, I really didn't know anybody, but one thing I did, I invested in being a part of coaching. And then at that point, it met my needs to what I needed to get to the next level. Then I started investing in other things, investing in ways of how I can be a great entrepreneur,
Mm,
a great business owner, how I manage my money, the
right.
tools of, managing money. And then two, understanding the more money I make, the more I can serve and I can
Mm,
give. I like that. It says, make more to give more. That's my motto. If I make more, I can give more.
I'm gonna
And
write that
that's how,
down. Make
yeah,
more to give more. Yes.
it sets a precedent for you as, wait a minute, it allows you to expand your business, because if you decide you want to bring on a team, you bring it on a buyer agent, a transaction, you're running a business. And so with that, you understand that responsibility. But once again, going back to, you outsource so that you can do what's good for you. And investing in being a great leader, I think that's important. So those are some of the things that I think is, highly important. Get a mentor. I don't care. I believe in that now. I probably wouldn't have, in some cases, meaning high ticket ones, because you
Right.
need one in different areas. Okay, you're a real estate agent. Well, maybe you need somebody to help you be a strategist. Well, you know what? There's coaches out there for strategy,
Right.
all of that. So it's expanding, those things. Yep. About leadership. Hey, you're a broker. There's so many different things. And, we learned that from being in 100X. And I don't know who's out there that maybe does and are not part of 100X. I said, hey, go that level. I'm a part of 100X. I went from 100X to level 1 to number 2 to number 3. And I've grown since that. And I think that's what individuals need to know. The more you invest in yourself, the better you become and the better you are in meeting the needs around you.
Yes.
And
yes.
so
You get around people like you and other people, and you find out there's unique things about each and every one of us that helps us to get to that next level too. It's not only the leadership that's within the coaching and mentoring, but it's your peers right next to you, people beside you that you learn from.
And then too, I think one thing too is when you get in different coaching, it allows you to know, hey, this is my lane. I'm not like trying to be like Kathy. I'm trying to be like Debra. Right. And so we learn the importance of how am I made up, and to, stay in that lane and don't have to look around and try to be like somebody else. Exactly. Because we all been called to the kingdom. We all have a purpose for the kingdom. Yes. And when we focus on that and who we're called to be and who, that makes a big difference. And then even as agents, we understand there is so much there's so much what I would call people out here that need help, so that we don't have to we don't have to really fight for business, because there's so much.
There's enough for everybody.
It is enough for everybody, but focusing on what works for you as an individual. Right. I mean, that's it. That's my biggest thing.
That's a mic dropping moment. I have a mic here, but I'm afraid if I drop
it. Let's serve the individual, and like even I was just telling the mentor, I was like, mentee, I was like, oh God, I don't like being on social media. So find the social media, what avenue works for you. So I started doing, I'm like, I'm going to do some reels, but I'm going to educate, doing those Instagram. So we just kind of find out what works for us. So all you new agents, find that area or what works for you, and then just crush it.
Yes. I'll look for those Instagram reels. So are you doing weekly, daily? What's the frequency of that?
We haven't decided yet. Once again, being in coaching, I'm actually investing in me. So I'm paying somebody to film me who that's their job. They're good at filming, and they did a filming with me. They'll do all the editing, and so we'll be prepared for that. So
wow.
Again, finding those areas that, hey, I'm not good at that, but I want to be excellent in that. So, hey, find somebody else to do it. And you know what? They come alongside and they make you look good.
Yes. Well, I am so excited for you, because I know when you, like you said, when you started, you moved to a location where you didn't really know anyone, and you started a new career, basically a new career. And a lot of people think you can't really start from scratch, but you can. Like you say, you partner with the Holy Spirit, you invest in yourself, you grow, you learn. And not only do you look up to level up, but you also don't forget the people behind you to help mentor them.
And I think that's where the wisdom come in, because when I start seeing the market like it is, I mean, I have to be honest with you. I said, God, I need to hear your voice. I need to know what to do and interact when I'm dealing with my clients, is how to help them, because we don't make the decision, they make the decision. Right. But we want to avenue them through those those stages of buying or selling. Yeah. And so with that, it began a process of, okay, I got into a coaching class about hearing the voice of God. That was one area. And then so harnessing that, and then talking about mindset, what stinking thinking that I got in there that I need to get rid of. And so moving from there, and then once again acceleration, and with Pedro, understanding the power of the kingdom, and you have a purpose in the kingdom. And when you start putting all that together, oh wow, you understand, hey, nobody, even whoever's on this line, you ain't just a drifter, you have purpose, whether, you may not be a real estate agent, or you may find yourself in real estate now, and then you find yourself going to another level and doing that. Because me and you talked about that. Now we have to give back, because we've been giving years of serving. Hey, well, how can we better serve? Meeting the multitude. It might be, hey, being a coach and, coaching and preparing others to come up and be great in what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And you
so
even
much.
got, wait a minute, you got me live, because that's the biggest
I
thing.
know. See?
I know I do not like.
Did I
am
trick
trying
you
to
or
be
what?
good.
Did I trick
Girl,
you or what?
I am not liking to be live on these Facebook, and I realized that today when I literally from 10 to 3 we were doing Instagram, videos, and I was like, oh my goodness. He said, you can just be you and have fun at it. And I like to move my hand. He said, that's what's good about Instagram. You get to do that. It's about being free. And I'm like, oh, okay. So
You did it. You did it. Well, I'll send this to you. You'll have a copy to put in your repertoire, because you gave some great best practices. So I appreciate your time. I value your friendship, and stay connected. And I will let you go, because I know you're on the road. You got a destination, but you stayed and you poured it out. So thank you.
we do with that. Girl. Yeah.
All right. Well, you be blessed. All right.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Miss Debra brought the fire on today. So glad that she came and shared that with you. So that was a bonus just for you. In case you didn't think that there were brokers out there crushing it, there's some brokers out there crushing it, and you're probably one of them. And this is one that did not want to go live. She had and still continues to have somewhat of a fear of going live. But as I said before, this is a private Facebook group. You get to go live and share your best practices, share what you're learning, share, just what this challenge framework means to you, and what does it mean to have a mentor and a coach. That is so important. Now, I'm going to take a few minutes and maybe just pull up a scripture or two from Proverbs, because we're doing Proverbs every day, and Proverbs 29, because we're approaching that home stretch. Proverbs 29, and I love to read the Passion Translation, and I'll see if I highlighted something. Yep, I did. I highlighted something. So I'm going to jump to verse 8. The topic of it says, you can't argue with a fool. I love Proverbs because let's see, at the beginning it says, don't be stubborn. Now I can say I tend to be a little stubborn when I want to do something a certain way and someone shows me another way. I get a little stubborn, so I can admit to that. But I want to jump down to the part about can't argue with a fool. Verse 8 says, arrogant cynics love to pick fights, but the humble and wise love to pursue peace. I think I highlighted that because of that last part, love to pursue peace. Are you a pursuer of peace? Do you have peace in your business, in your home, in your life? Are you looking at coaches and mentors that can take you to that next level? Are you also looking to bring those along? In fact, I want to share just a short story. I have a mentee that I'm working with right now. He's getting his very first listing. We are doing some Zooms just like this. So this is a great training vehicle to meet the clients with the mentee to go over some best practices. So you can shadow that, and that mentee can see exactly why you are the expert in what you do. And so that is just one of the things that I do in terms of coaching and mentoring. I'm right there with my mentees to share with them how they can turn the information to where the client gets the buy-in. In this particular case, the client wants to overprice their listing because of the way the market is. A lot of sellers are thinking, I'm just going to price it here and somebody's going to sell it. Somebody's going to buy it. And if they don't, I'll just drop the price. Well, there's a tail of the trailing market, if you haven't heard of that, where if you price it too high and it doesn't sell and it starts to go down, let's say the market is right here and you priced it here and you keep dropping your price, the market is shifting. The market could actually start moving down here. And then there you go, chasing price. So just a little simple tool like that to help sellers understand. Mentees, it helps them understand, the people that you mentor. And so I am just so grateful that Debra shared that, because she's on fire. In case you didn't notice, she's on fire. She's out there crushing it on the East Coast. She is filming her reels, someone who had a fear of going live on Facebook. And I got her to come live here and share with you. And I'll share that with her so she can use that in her business to help grow her business and encourage other people, because that's what it's about, refreshing others in this masterclass to grow and strengthen. Now, if you haven't had an opportunity, go on this Facebook group, which is a private Facebook group, and press that live button. Go live, share your best practices, share why you are humbled. Let's see, but the humble and wise love to pursue peace. Are you a pursuer of peace? I hope so. I hope so, because there's enough arrogance and cynics and negative out there, in society for eternity. But there's not enough peace pursuers. And so be a peace pursuer. I'm a peace pursuer, love peace. Now, a little bit of admin announcements before we close out. Tomorrow, I have another special guest. I'm looking forward to sharing with you on Saturday. And then on the Sunday, I have another special guest. So looking forward to sharing some best practices and just information about a challenge framework and how you too can join into this mentor-mentee relationship. So if I haven't told you, there is a guide section. Each time I do a filming, I put those video recordings in the guides. So you can see them in the guides. You can see past recordings, and you can see challenges are forgiving. This framework is very forgiving. I've heard comments about, wow, it's so raw. Well, it is raw because you're sharing what people really go through and not this fictitious, scripted program. This is real. This is life. It happens. Sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes the phone does fall. Sometimes the mic doesn't work. I mean, that happens in life. We don't live in a perfect society. So I just wanted to say that. I almost started to stutter on that. If we don't live in a perfect society. And so challenges are forgiving because we are human and we need to learn to forgive ourselves, right? And forgive others. So that's kind of my little sidebar about that. And as Forrest Gump says, that's enough about that. So in the guides, you'll see all of the recordings. In the featured section, you will also see the recordings. And last but not least, in the event tab, you'll see that I'm going live every day at 3 p.m. until 3:30, except on the bonus day. So on day 31, which is the bonus day, I will be filming live from a different location, which I'll share with you at that time. It's probably not good to share where you're going on Facebook public because everybody would know, and then they might want to come to your house. So not looking for that, but just wanted to kind of surprise you and let you know that you can do these anywhere, just like Debra did it in the car. You can go live anywhere. As long as you have a phone, you can go live and you can share. So looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you maybe even today if you go live on Facebook. So share, share, share. Go live. Share your biggest takeaway. Share your best practice. Share. Can you do that for me? Okay. I'm not tired of you. I haven't seen much of you at all. So I'd love to see more of you. Okay. So I will end this on that note and see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock.